work. Flip. Okay, it's not gonna flip. We're gonna have to flip it like this. That sucks. I don't like that at all. Hello, YouTube. What is up? Hold on. I'm gonna move that back.
Oh, there you go. Problem solving. Good job.
I'm stretching my toes under the table right now. Go gadget toes. Okay.
You can tell how long your legs are now.
I don't have long legs. That made me sound really tall. Anyways, hi. Okay, so we're gonna talk about counseling criticism today. There have been lots of inspiration in my comment section lately, and you guys know me. I do not stay silent when it comes to inspiration. I utilize it to my advantage, which I think is heavily important. So for everyone that doesn't know, you guys know me, I'm Carissa. For those that don't know, this is my beautiful partner, girlfriend, husband, baby daddy. We're pregnant with Muhammad, according to the comments. So,
according to the comments.
Well, they don't know we're pregnant yet. We're pregnant.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we are coming live today to kind of address certain things here that we've noticed within the collective. Juliet says hi. She's sliding on into. You guys know Juliet, star of the show, the real star of the show here. But anyways, so I've had a lot of comments come in lately that are just so inspiring. Honestly, I really truly appreciate them. I would like to start there by saying that I have had people comment on my appearance, number one, numerous times. That is greatly appreciated. However, I'm gonna go ahead and look how I want to look. So we're gonna address that right off the top here. I've had people comment on my weight, on everything here, because apparently I'm just super fat. I've had people comment on my hair color. I've had people comment on the fact that I talk about myself too much, which that one's my favorite. And I love talking about myself. I'm just the biggest narcissist that exists. But anyways, I'm not really a narcissist, you guys. However, what we're going to talk about today is canceling criticism. The thing is criticism is a wound, and it's a divine feminine wound. So with all of these people that come to me, they tend to have usernames like goddess so-and-so, but they don't embody a goddess energy. They tend to have usernames like empress so-and-so, but they're full of criticism. So they're not very empress-like at all. And they're so far in their distorted femininity that they're manifesting from a spiritual ego. In today's video, we're going to talk about the feminine distortion that is within the matrix today. And we are going to use all of the beautiful comments that have been coming up on my, I guess, platform. Yeah, thanks, babe. We always finish each other's sentences.
So cute.
It's really annoying. We're both like, shut up, get out of my head. But, you know, one thing here is criticism comes from the distorted feminine energy. Your feminine energy is within your sacral. And distorted feminism has to do a lot with criticism, all right? And when you are consistently criticizing not just yourself but other individuals outside of yourself, especially when that has nothing to do, like my body has nothing to do with the readings that I produce. The way that I look or the way that I present or carry myself has nothing to do with the readings that I produce, yet I notice it's the number one comment. Now, as much as I appreciate you guys telling me I'm gorgeous, I'm glowing, I'm this, I'm fat, you know, I'm ugly, I'm just the worst person to exist on the planet Earth. I love all the comments, all of them. They all boost my algorithm and they all make me money, so it always ends up in my favor. However, we should address this here because it's really important for us feminine, true feminines, those that are not in a distorted feminine energy, to be supportive towards one another. So I'm gonna let my beautiful husband go ahead and take over here. My handsome husband, go ahead and take over here, and she's gonna go ahead and talk with you guys just about this. She actually specializes in the chakra system and the law of polarity. If you guys are interested in moving forward with us, we do have a feminine and masculine class, our yin and yang class, that we have launched. It starts on March 1st. Of course, just like all of my other classes, they're extremely affordable, and we're gonna go into a deeper dive. So we're only touching one very surface surface layer aspect of a distorted feminine energy, only because it was presented to us, which only brought us more and more confirmations that we're on the right track. We had many downloads about this class, and so we are excited to put that out there. But anyways, I will let you go ahead and take over, baby.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so distortion of feminine energy. A way to describe it is kind of like that naggy energy. Like your mom that used to nag you about every little thing, like that hyper helicopter mom. A lot of that is unhealthy feminine energy that's manifesting. Feminine energy is all about the creation, inspiration, the ability to connect with others in a healthy way.
Yeah. Let's keep it on the subject.
No,
you don't give away too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could talk about all this stuff.
I'm like, she could go into this for hours, so like let's keep that all for the class here. Just kind of give a little bit of a taste. Focused around criticism today.
Yeah. So I mean, back to like the helicopter parent thing. A lot of feminine women want to embody their femininity, but they come from it in a place of masculine energy. They come from it in a place of criticism or putting others down in order to feel elevated. Like that's a really basic way of a distorted feminine. One way that it can manifest. There's multiple ways in which it can manifest, and different wounding patterns, all of those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And criticism, it really stems from, like she mentioned, the helicopter mom. It also stemmed from, that teacher that was like, or that parent that was like, that was not very ladylike of you, right? It stems from that teacher that suppressed you. The thing about distorted feminine energy is it comes from suppression. The way that we have to suppress ourselves. I have to fit into some sort of societal category of the way that my body has to look in order to be accepted by society, which is just not something that is true to me. For me, I should be able to just express myself and feel beautiful within myself without having somebody consistently condemn or point out like, hey, you don't fit in with the like typical white Barbie. I don't want to be white Barbie. I'm not even American. Like I definitely am not even, I don't want to be white. I don't care to fit into that mold or that structure, and I think it's very outdated. I'm not here to be part of the suppressed feminine energy. I am here to go ahead and create a path for other feminine to truly step into their empowerment. And an empowered feminine energy doesn't just empower themselves, they empower others around them. There is no bringing down people around. There's only an uplifting feeling. And that's why so many leave my presence or leave my videos or whatever it may be, and you guys feel better. That's because I sit here and I use my sacral, I use my feminine energy to empower you, to nurture you, to show you compassion. And I give you this energy in a way where I'm not asking for anything in return. A true divine feminine is consistently in a receptive state. So receptive state of energy here is me receiving energy in return. And now sometimes that energy that I receive in return is going to be criticism. It's going to be distorted. It's going to be these individuals that are projecting their own limitations onto me because I trigger something within them that does not make them feel good. That means that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I am exactly in a position here to be sharing my voice, to speak up louder, to make myself bigger. I'm not going to make myself smaller. You see, the thing is they felt smaller when they were criticized, which only shows me their weakness, which only means that I have to be more compassionate here because I'm like, wow, you feel small when criticized. That's why you did it to me. That means that you need more nurture, more love. I'm not going to sit here and criticize you in return, baby. We don't do that. A true divine feminine energy does not do that. I don't mirror behavior like that. I mirror behavior by continuously being loud, by continuously using my voice, by continuously empowering and standing up, not just for myself, but for everyone around, for all the feminine that feel so small because they see me and they're like, you know what? She's speaking her truth. She's using a situation where somebody tried to make her feel smaller. Somebody tried to diminish her goals, her ambitions, her accomplishments, right? And what I'm doing here is instead of making myself small, I'm becoming louder. I am making more noise. I am stopping it right in its tracks. You see, the thing is, if I was in a distorted feminine energy, that would stop me. That would prevent me. That would hurt my feelings. But I know myself far too well to allow something so minuscule hurt me because I've already healed that wound pattern. I know where it derives from. My own father was so constructive about my body type growing up. I had the worst body dysmorphia growing up. He was always criticizing anything I would do, anything I would say. I wasn't even allowed to have elbows on the table while eating dinner because it was not proper. My nonna, love her, my nonna here, she had a rule where if you don't help cook, you don't help eat. Because I am a woman, there are so many things that were projected onto me as a child, so many different paradigms, so many different religious factors. All of this was projected onto me, and these are all things that I had to dismantle one by one. And by doing so, it allowed me to step into my actual feminine power. And my actual feminine power has no room to criticize or distort another feminine. I don't have room to sit here and be like, oh, her hair doesn't look good in jet black. Oh, wow, you're putting on happy weight. So funny. I love that for you. First of all, I would never look at that because I'm seeing, wow, this person's radiating in their truth. Wow, this person's feeling so empowered. Wow, this person's doing things outside of my comfort zone. I find that inspiring. Now, you see, criticism comes from jealousy and envy. It also comes from the wounding patterns within, again, that were projected on. So in that case here, oftentimes, like I said, I know that I'm meant to be more compassionate. I know that I'm meant to be more nurturing to these individuals. And so this is why we created this feminine and masculine, this yin and yang course, because we want to empower the collective. This is for males, females. You could be a fucking kangaroo. Please sign up. Okay? We all have feminine and masculine energies within us, and you are never too healed to learn something new. Let me say that again. You are never too healed to learn something new. And oftentimes you think that you are healed, but there's something so within you that you just weren't aware of, and that is okay. The thing is about feminine energy is having that grace and compassion for yourself, not just for yourself, but for others. How many of you guys have been told, including by myself, that you're resilient, right? I say that often. You are resilient. But the thing is that resilience also made you a people pleaser. Your people pleasing wound came from a distorted feminine energy of wanting to be accepted. So now you're in this people pleasing energy. Now what? Yeah, you're resilient, but you're also a people pleaser. Now you're also more fragile. Now you also walk on eggshells. How do you truly go about healing that? And that's what we created this course for. What we're going to do is we're going to go within each and every chakra, and we're going to talk about the feminine and the masculine energies, how they manifest. We are going to discuss, why are you so pretty? Don't look at me like that. Okay, gosh, distracted. What was I saying? Stop. It's those eyes, man. Those eyes. Oh, so hot. I have the hottest fucking girlfriend ever. Okay, where was I? Maybe I'm serious.
You were talking about going through and identifying masculine and feminine energy through
right.
the body.
Okay, yes. How it manifests in our lives. What it looks like when it's distorted. What it looks like when it's healthy. Thank you so much for the donation. We appreciate that, Nights of Empathy. Oh, I love that. Yes, this is a huge cycle completion and initiation phase for a lot of the collective. And in this shift, in this collective shift, I'm not the only person that's going to be talking about this. You're going to notice a lot of leaders talking about the feminine and masculine energies because we embody both of them within us. Your sacral chakra is your feminine energy.
Second chakra.
Your second chakra, yes. And your third chakra, your solar plexus, is your masculine energy. So the fact that you have both of those within your body means that you have feminine and masculine energies. So oftentimes it plays out, so I'm sure many of you are going to wonder, how does it play out in a feminine and feminine dynamic? Well, easy. Oftentimes there is somebody who is more predominantly feminine and more predominantly masculine. What does it mean to be a masculine?
A masculine role is all about leadership, how to lead your partner, and not in the way of I need to micromanage or I need to control. Those are wounding patterns within the masculine and also within the feminine, depending how they manifest. But the masculine is always the role that takes the first step. The feminine is the receptive body. It's the emotional body. The feminine body for the masculine partner is meant to be a mirror, an oracle for where your masculine partner might not be showing up, or something that the masculine is unaware of. So, I mean, and that's kind of like when you get, like, if, for instance, say you forgot to meet your girlfriend at 5, you were supposed to go on a date, you got behind at work, something like that, and your girlfriend calls you and is like, you're supposed to be here at 5, what's going on? It doesn't matter that you had work things that were supposed to be taken care of or whatever like that. This is where you said you were going to show up, and this is where you're out of integrity. It's like the feminine is all about how you are showing up as your masculine partner. So it's like, it's a dance and duality between both.
For me, the way that it works out, typically, like in our dynamic, is she kind of just came into my life and started taking leadership, like leading. Leading means that I feel safe. I feel capable of being soft. For those that don't know, I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 14. And she came into my life and was instantly like, oh, that's a bad habit that you have there. Didn't really say anything negative about it other than that. Just kind of led and said, hey, you know, that's just an unhealthy choice. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't want to do this anymore. And then she provided the safety by leading and creating a safe environment for me to literally quit cold turkey, where I haven't had a cigarette in days now. And another example here is she's watched me get overwhelmed, like with my children here or with work or whatever it may be. And she created this safe space for me to emotionally express myself. Now, in return, when it takes time for me to become that leader for her, I create that safe environment where she can emotionally express herself. And that means she's in the feminine role then, and I'm in that masculine role of taking leadership of the situation to alchemize, to ground, to transmute that emotional body and that energy. And that's how the dynamic works. So when people are like, oh, it doesn't work in feminine or masculine relationships, it's bullshit. Energy doesn't know gender.
I was just going to say that.
Yes.
Energy doesn't know gender.
Yes. Energy does not know gender. And so more often than not, it doesn't matter how it like chooses to show up or manifest here in your life in regards to gender roles. Okay, it's genuinely about embodiment of energies and recognizing that they will switch. Even if you are in a, what's it called? Heterosexual, right? I was going to say hypersexual for some reason.
Heterosexual, straight? That's what you're going for?
Straight, yeah. Okay. Even if you're in a heterosexual relationship where you are, you know, predominantly male, predominantly, that's not the right word. You are male and you are female. That's a heterosexual relationship, Carissa.
Or identify as male and female. In that,
right.
In that
you will still switch. And that's where that energy comes in, because men have emotions too. And to emasculate your masculine energy, that again comes from a distorted feminine, because then you're trying to take that control, that leadership here, and you're manipulating it and throwing it back on your partner. And so again, thank you so much. The universe does not see the mortal coil. Yes, exactly. Thank you again for the donation. I appreciate that. And the 1010 is just such a great confirmation here. And so when I talk about canceling criticism, what I'm saying here is we're canceling, condoning distorted femininity and distorted masculinity. We see it come up in our readings on a daily basis. For those of you guys that are on my channel, you know we're all about readings, right? And we watch it come up, but we don't ever truly discuss what it looks like, how it manifests, how it distorts our reality, and how much it creates these obstacles and blockages when it comes to manifesting divine unions and divine connections. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a firm believer in divine connections. I don't care about the label, soulmate, twin flame, eternal soul, whatever you want to call it, okay? You could be a flying turd, and that is beautiful. I bless your union here. However, it's just not something that I resonate with.
Stupid. It's so dumb.
We're flying turds, so.
I don't consent to that. No, I'm not a flying turd. No.
I'm a turd on fire. So, dumpster fire.
What does that say about me?
You're the trash panda that I...
This is the chaotic feminine right here.
It's not chaotic feminine. That's my inner child. We're playing pretend right now. No, she loves pointing out like my chaotic feminine. What does chaotic feminine look like?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, you can use me as an example. I have no shame.
Yeah.
Ooh, the first night. Our first night together. Use that carefully.
I don't even know if that's really a good representation. I feel like...
Okay, whatever representation you want to use.
Okay, I feel like... Okay, so I would say a better representation of the chaotic feminine was when we were at the Airbnb.
I was on mushrooms, though.
Yes, but it was still very, like, cut and dry for
that
feminine.
Works out perfect, actually, because then we can go into my past relationship from there.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so as far as that, we went to an Airbnb for her birthday, and given we were on mushrooms and, you know, not quite in the right state of mind, but I had exhibited some behavior that
made me uncomfortable.
That made her uncomfortable and made her feel unsafe, which for feminine energy is a huge trigger. Like, not feeling safe in the feminine body, especially by your masculine partner, it just makes the feminine question pretty much everything. So in that moment, she didn't feel safe to express to me, and she kind of bottled those emotions until it burst. And with that came a lot of projection and a lot of intentional criticism. Like, that is a huge way that the chaotic feminine can emasculate their partner, is by criticizing all of the little things that maybe their partner had done or said and pick it apart. And that is, for me, that is a huge trigger as far as within my masculine energy. When she does that, it's really, really difficult. I can stonewall.
I'm really good at it.
She's really good at it. Yeah, she is really good at it. And the other thing too is, like, when the feminine body is in chaos, when it doesn't feel safe, it doesn't matter what the logical body, the masculine, says. The masculine is all about, okay, babe, but like, this is what happened, or this is the logical thing, or but what about this, you know? It doesn't matter when feminine energy is in chaos. They only are there to express their emotional body.
And so what I did by expressing my emotional body is exactly what had manifested in my last relationship. My last relationship was extremely unhealthy. You know, and I was so caught up in like wanting to make things work, or like almost forcing it, which again is a distorted energy. That was actually a distorted masculine energy though, and I wasn't even safe to be in a masculine energy in my last relationship, let alone feminine. That was just never allowed. And the way that manifests is I start repeating things. So a distorted feminine is going to repeat energies. So what I did was I kept on repeating the same thing over and over again during our conversation here, because I was used to chaotic situations in which, like in my last relationship, I spent 3 months in my last relationship, and that person, we would have 16-hour fights. Like, I was such in fight, flight, fawn, freeze mode, just everything. My whole nervous system was completely dysregulated. I was like chain smoking cigarettes in that relationship. And the way that, you know, we would just go back and forth, this roundabout here. There was never an end. There was never a compromise. There was never seeing each other for what they were feeling. It was just consistent. These are my emotions. No, these are my emotions.
Projection of wounds.
Exactly. And it just was not something that was safe at all. Not for me and not for my ex-partner either. And so when we had just, God, we'd been together like 3 days maybe.
When?
For the trip.
No.
A week? I don't know, maybe.
Oh yeah, like a week.
Like a week? Okay, we had only been together like a week. By the way, I got asked out in like an O'Reilly's parking lot. So that was super hot. She's like, are we dating? I was like, no.
I didn't even mean it like I'm asking her out. I was genuinely curious. I didn't know. And like that also, different conversation. But
Yeah.
we had very different ideas of what dating looked like and what it was. So
we've had many conscious conversations. So.
She looked at me and was like, ew, now.
Yeah, no, it was
I was
not
like, wow, okay, geez. Fuck.
So anyways, we had, you know, I'd gone from that relationship. That was my last relationship here. And so when we were only a week into our relationship, we hadn't really worked on like what each other's boundaries are, what each other's triggers are. We were still so new and getting to know each other. And so when that manifested, which neither of us like, preconceived, we did not see that coming, either of us. It was just kind of a shocker to the both of us, and also a real great opportunity to healthily learn how to express things to each other, to have healthy conversations. The thing about her is, while I was repeating myself, she continued to be that strong, grounded leader and shut me down. Course correct me. She kept being, baby, I understand your emotions. They're valid. I'm sorry for hurting you in that way. I'm sorry for testing your safety. Right? So she emotionally validated me, but I wasn't quite ready to let go because I was still in that distorted energy of like, no, you don't get it, because I'm used to having to fight for hours for somebody to fucking understand me, because I'm used to talking to brick walls that are so dense and stubborn and stuck in their ways that they don't genuinely understand. And so for me, I felt I was projecting my past experiences onto my current partner, which she definitely does not deserve. She's way too conscious and aligned here. What's my
biggest fear about being two Caps?
Oh, two Capricorns? Absolutely nothing. We are very, very, very compatible. We're both Capricorn, actually.
We're both moon and water signs, and yeah.
Yes.
Our charts are very compatible.
Very compatible. And like every single placement our synastry chart talks about like marriage. So if you see me married like next week and pregnant with Muhammad.
Yes. Shotgun wedding.
We're ready. No, but genuinely. So she continued to hold space for me in my emotional body until I felt like it was safe and regulated. And from that point forward here, she showed me that I can safely express myself even if it doesn't make sense to me, because the emotional body doesn't make sense. Logic, like she mentioned earlier, is masculine energy. And so when you're in a masculine energy or a masculine role, all you're meant to do is provide that grounding, that logic that's missing. It's like two links.
Not even provide the logic, really.
Hold space.
Yeah, hold space. So that, I just had to correct that, baby, because it's just providing logic to the feminine, especially in like my predominantly masculine people in here. Please don't do that. Please do not ever give logical reasoning to your feminine partner when she is trying to emotionally express, because she will be fucking livid. Like, if I had approached you like that, you would have probably punched me in the face that night.
I was on mushrooms, keep this in mind, please, okay? I was not in my right mind. I was like 3 hours into hallucinations, okay? So.
Yeah, so the whole thing is like the masculine, and this is like a wound within the masculine too, is like, of course, with the logical body working, you're like, but that doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't logically make sense. And you, like, the masculine wants to explain that, right? But the thing is, you need to be able to hold space for the feminine first. It's okay to express whatever the logic is after the fact, but even being like, I understand what you're saying, baby, like, you know, everything you're feeling is so valid, but this is how I felt, or this is what my perspective was. Leading like that is even a better way to go about it.
And that's what you did that night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that wasn't me being like, babe, logic, why are you feeling that?
Where the fuck is it?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not like, I'm gaslighting you. I'm just like, why are you feeling like that? You're fucking crazy. No, like, I would never say that, you know? Like, that's...
I'd be used to it, though.
Yeah.
Awesome! Repeat of lessons.
Right.
I'm like, Spirit, this is not the mushroom trip I wanted for my birthday.
Yes, the masculine is meant to, with the logical mind, be able to be aware. It's an awareness of, oh, my feminine partner is feeling this way. And the truth of it is, like, being able to see the chaotic feminine, and I'm not trying to be like toxic about it, but being able to see the chaotic feminine within your partner and her allowing herself to be expressed is a way that she is trying to be closer to you. It's a way for her to connect to you. So yes, it might be scary, especially for the wounded masculine that has seen a lot of chaotic feminine in their life, typically. But it's it's a way to connect. What you need to worry about in the feminine is when she shuts down completely. When she is just like, okay, that's it, you know? Because that's her desire to be close and be led by you. And that's a way that you can reinforce the safety that you did have in the relationship prior to whatever the trigger is that came up. So.
Perfect. Yeah. Every time I look at her, you guys, it's so okay, anyway, so feminine, masculine energies here. Again, distorted femininity can show up in many ways, and yeah, I was criticizing my partner in that moment of time, and since then, of course, when things settled down and the sun started coming up in the morning, we had a conscious discussion about what had happened the night before. Once, you know, all of the influences yeah, because we were in quite a few different influences that night, had completely worn off, and you know, the sun was coming up and we had talked about a lot of things, and talked through them. You see, the thing is I understand when people put out there that relationships aren't perfect. I definitely get that, and they're not. Relationships are never going to just be 100% easy. However, I can confidently, with every fiber of my soul, being essence, say that this is definitely the easiest relationship that I've been in. And the reason I say it's easy is because it's always safe for me. It's safe for me to express myself. It's safe for me to have a conscious conversation, work through my emotions. It's safe for me to take accountability, and my partner takes that accountability as well, you know, on their part. And we are both consciously creating the union that we want for each other and ourselves, which is very important. And see, the thing is the reason why we're talking about relationships and union so much is because your relationship, you know, canceling criticism is all about how we show up and have relationships with the external world outside of ourselves. And that's what's so important to understand, is that if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, you're not going to have positive friendships. You're not going to manifest a conscious union. You're not going to be in alignment with these things because your energy is still so distorted. Now, I've done a lot of work on my inner femininity and my inner masculinity. I've done a lot to balance these things. However, I had just gotten out of a toxic, not an excuse at all, not an excuse. I am taking 100% accountability here, and I put up with things that I should not have put up with. I ignored red flags that I should have definitely been like, whoa, hello, this is definitely a circus energy. And I should have ended things much sooner. However, I didn't. And because of that, I was still carrying that energy with me as I was entering into this new connection with her. And it manifested in a way where, you know, again, I had another friend that was there that night, right? And it manifested that way with her as well. Like, she's always shows up in her masculine energy. She's very dominant, very alpha, very do-it-herself. And she did a lot of healing that night as well. And so, again, it's just every single dynamic, every single relationship that you manifest into your life is going to show you what you need to work on more. For me, personally, it was showing me how I was making excuses, which is what a distorted feminine energy does. I was in a people pleaser. I can fix this, you know, I was like in the fixer thing. I can nurture this. I can just love it until it loves itself properly, which is just not true. And that person was in such a distorted masculine energy where they were like, you're giving up on this, you're doing this, you're doing that, finger, 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 you're the problem, you're a fraud, you're this. And then they continued to harass me for weeks. I was literally with my new girlfriend, and still receiving text messages from my ex calling me a fraud and telling me happy fucking birthday and blah blah, just acting completely irrational. And that's fine. She was in a distorted feminine energy when she was texting me afterwards. However, during the relationship, she was definitely showing up in a distorted masculine energy where it was always me. I'm not seeing things in a healthy, thank you baby, in a healthy way, and was held no space to truly accept the things that I was feeling or saying or addressing, right? And not only that, but they cared a lot about what everybody else thought around, not even about like what I thought and felt, but everyone else thought of my social media. You guys mattered to her more than I mattered to her, is what she showed me here, which again created this unsafe feeling within me, and it manifested that way. I was also, because I was in this unsafe feeling, I was also in unsafe relationships with friends, with those around me, and I was allowing not just my partner but my friendships take full-blown advantage of me. And not so the way that I go into criticism and that wounding comes out and plays a role for me is I start criticizing myself. Oh, you're not good enough. You are a fraud. That person said you're a fraud. You are fat. That person said you're fat. Oh my God, your hair sucks in jet black. They're right.
Which is actually
wounded masculinity.
Yes, wounded masculine. The criticism of self is a masculine wound. The masculine wound is much more masochistic in its nature, and so any external outside criticism can usually be internalized. Masculine energy is very internalized. They're very introverted a lot of the times, and then they like expand out to share everything that they learn when they're in their introverted state. But definitely have a tendency to kind of like pick at the scab, if you would. I know, kind of a gross analogy, but that's energetically what it feels like. It's like, and as someone who has a predominantly masculine wound, that's not a fun time, I'll tell you. Yeah.
You've always felt masculine in a skirt, baby 3. That's completely normal. Again, I don't care what gender you identify with or if you identify as a true stump. You can be whatever you choose, and I will honor that. However, we do have feminine and masculine energies within all of us. We do have a chakra system within all of us. And as we stated earlier in this video, the second, she likes to go by numbers. I call them by their actual names. So the sacral, the second chakra, is your feminine energy. That is the womb energy, the color orange. And the third chakra is your solar plexus, which is the color yellow. And that's directly above here. So they correlate together. Yes, so they correlate together and they work together hand in hand. And if one is distorted, you're creating blockages. If both of them are distorted, you're definitely in your spiritual ego. So when I receive, again, this criticism here, I can see, oh, that's a wounded feminine. Oh, their mother must have been really hard on them, or their father must have been really hard on them. The society pressures are something that they are caving into. They're surrendering into these things, and maybe they're not even aware of it. And so I always see it as an opportunity to like come live on YouTube instead and just rather address it in a healthy way. And just say, we're canceling criticism. You are now 100% responsible for your wounding patterns and how they show up in your life. You have every single opportunity to sign up for our yin and yang class. You can go to my community board and sign up here, or you can go to flavoredvivid.com and sign up. It's literally only $44, and you're going to get way more out of it. We're trying to focus mainly on feminine energy today. Just in around criticism. However, we have kind of bled into other areas because again, they go hand in hand. So if you feel like this is something that you benefit from, you absolutely will. And there's no shame in that. You see, the thing is we feel so ashamed, like, oh, I can't heal myself, or I can just Google everything. None of that's the truth. None of that's the truth. There's a lot of false information out there. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say too, especially if you're newer on your healing journey, you don't understand the energies in your body. Sure, you can read about it, but healing is a feeling process. Like that's why the feminine energy is so incredibly powerful. It's your source of creation for a reason. It's your feeling body. So if you're not feeling through whatever your experiences are, you're not properly having the ability to alchemize them and change them into something different. Which like courses like this, I am a big advocate for having a coach or teacher initially while you're starting.
She still has one.
No, I don't.
Next month, I thought.
Huh?
You have a course that you signed up for, that one lady's course.
Oh yeah, I do actually. I forgot. Yeah, I do have a course that I did sign up for, but like not an active coach. But
oh well, yeah, that's where the confusion came in. I meant your course here, that lady. We've been listening to her book. She's an author, and she's
different one.
Oh
yeah, no.
Oh,
I'm doing a feminine masterclass course at the end of the month. Yeah, but anyways. Neither here nor there. Good memory, baby.
Well, we talked so much about her that I thought it was her. I thought you said that's whose course you're attending.
No. No. Yeah.
I don't know. I've been listening to her audiobook, though. I don't like the sound of her voice. It's triggering for some reason. She sounds like Abraham Hicks. It's not Abraham Hicks, though.
Abraham Hicks sounded so different.
No.
She was like screaming in our face during that meditation. And then Joe Dispenza's like, bring it to the crown. Bring it up. It was like boot camp. It was spiritual boot camp, baby.
That was.
I was just like, okay, bring it to the crown.
One thing that we like doing every morning is we wake up at 5:30, we go off to the gym. We have such a morning routine that we do together, and it's great because it brings in a lot of bonding time, us time, all of it. But we wake up at 5:30, we go to the gym, we come home, and we instantly go into a meditation. We usually choose like some sort of either guided meditation or just binaural beats, frequencies, whatever it may be. But we chose what she's referencing here is this, which we love Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's great. However, that was like a boot camp guided meditation. He's like, no, breathe, hold it. And I was sitting there like, I'm fucking holding. I didn't get much done in that meditation.
There was a point he forgot that he told us to hold it too, and then he went into something else. I'm like, well, if I die, it's on you, Joe Dispenza. It's not my fault. I'm not taking accountability here. Suffocation.
No breathing. Okay, yes. Anyways, and we like to do our meditation with Hape every single morning. It's actually really great. I really do enjoy our mornings together, and every evening we do the same thing. Like, we're constantly saging each other. We're consistently doing like daily check-ins with each other. How do you feel about today? Was there anything that we can work on with each other here? We make sure to cancel out any of like that criticism of you did this today and I'm fucking triggered and you're responsible for all my triggers. No, we do these check-ins where we're like, hey, how do you feel about how today went? Okay, what can we do to make you feel safer, more comfortable, whatever it may be. We do this with my children now too. Like, the way that she's taken huge leadership role in my life is with my children. She's come in and provided them with more structure and routine.
They need structure. Yes.
They're feral. Leave them be.
They are. They're definitely our children.
They're just like me. Really though.
Perfect in every way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Aww, I know. We're perfect. No, but, she's come in and she's helped with that. She brings so much grounding here. And it took me, because I had to unlearn so many of these patterns that I learned in other relationships, it took me a couple weeks to really inch into this energy and fully be like, I am safe. Like, I don't have to act out in these wounded behaviors any longer because they're not necessary here. I'm not in fight or flight energy anymore. I'm not being criticized. I'm not being condemned. I'm not being suppressed. There's absolutely nothing within me that she's asking me to hold back. In fact, she encourages it, which was something that was entirely new. Doesn't matter if I'm in a hetero relationship or a
queer
relationship. Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something really inappropriate there, but yeah, you know where I was going. Anyways, maybe one day we'll have somebody who accepts and understands us as well. Yeah, see, the thing is acceptance. That's part of safety. And providing the safety is like, she came in and she accepted, like, hey, this is how they have survived up until this point. This is how, this family has kept their shit together and established everything that they have. Because even if she's not in the picture, it's still up to me to balance out the feminine, masculine energies. As a single mom, I have to be very masculine. I gotta make sure that I have to provide. I have to show up in so many different ways. And so like you've heard me say, especially on my channel and like tarot videos, you've heard me say like at work I'm the boss, you know, but when I'm at home I'm the baby. And so she really she really lets that happen, which is great for me. I don't know how you feel about it. Actually, we have not done a check-in about that. We'll talk about that later.
No, I feel like I get a good portion of baby time.
Okay, yeah. I definitely, nurture and hold her and
yeah.
Which
is, I feel like pretty much all I need for my masculine to be like, okay, I can step up. Is just like, I want to be baby now.
Yeah.
Put face in titties.
Yes, face and titties. So important for healing.
Very important.
Heals the soul.
I mean, that's where the soul's located, in the heart. I'm going like right to the source, right there.
Right to the source. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, that's another thing that we do for each other is we're consistently bringing healing in towards each other here. Like I will hear her take a deep breath or something. I'm like, okay, what's going on right now? I can tell you're stressed or nervous about something, and I'll literally like just put my hand over her heart, and we'll sit there for a minute. If she chooses to talk about it, great, and if not, that's okay too. The thing is all I'm doing is providing a sacred space. That's it. There is no pressure. There is no, you have to tell me. I'll never forget like my ex being directly in front of me and being like, talk to me. And I was like, this is making me shut down even more. Like I definitely do not want to talk now because you're going to freak the fuck out on me.
Yeah, there was a moment the other day where she was in a pretty emotional state. She had a hard conversation
with my baby daddy.
Yeah, about kid stuff and all the things, which of course co-parenting, all the other old triggers coming up, and I hadn't seen them or heard them argue like that. And she had gone up to the room and we just picked up pizza for the kids, so dropped that off, went upstairs, and immediately, like as I go through the door, she's like, I don't want to talk about anything, like immediately was just like, nope. And I was like, I wasn't gonna ask you or force you, but then it was interesting because she did want to express herself. Like she's like, I don't want to talk, and then she's like, but then I feel like this, and then she expressed it. But it's just like she felt like she had this immediate necessary guard because of the previous relationship that she had that was like, are you gonna talk to me yet? What are you feeling?
You have to talk to me right now. We need to discuss this for the next 16 hours.
On the dot. 5, 4, 3, 2, activate.
Activate. It was really bad, you guys, and I genuinely I hope that person heals. I hope they recognize their wounding. However, I'm just like the worst person in the world to them, and apparently their psychologist agrees, but I don't think that they're fully honest with their psychologist or even themselves.
Maybe psychiatrist.
So, psychiatrist.
Psychologist.
Yeah. I don't know if she's on medication. Should be, but
that's still a psychiatrist.
Yes. Well, regardless here, and everybody's going to have their different perceptions, and I'm not saying that person is all to blame, because they're not. My triggers were wounded, were activated here, and my wounds were then projected right back onto her, just as hers were onto me. So I am responsible, and I do take accountability in that, and I know what role I played in that connection, and it was to awaken and help facilitate here the catalyst that was needed, and that was being so avoided within not just her but myself as well. And by doing that here, it helped me recognize all these patterns, which sent me into this spiral of I could not have anything to do with that person any longer. And I had to go forth and really start healing those aspects of me and redefining what does love look like? What does safety mean to me? Because I remember hyperventilating at one point and literally telling my ex, my nervous system is so shot right now, I need a moment to breathe, and they would not give me a moment to breathe. They wouldn't. And so for me, that unconsciously manipulated me into believing I don't have a choice. That took away my free will. And so that's why when she walked into the room, I was like, I don't want to talk. Because I was trying to immediately set that boundary there. Because in the past, that's what had happened. Right? And so I was like, oh, I lacked boundaries. That was the problem. And the problem isn't always boundaries. During meditation this morning, I actually had a huge revelation about boundaries. And boundaries are like mountains. Let me explain it. Mountains, they're immovable. But at the same time, they foster so much nurture and support. For all of the animals, creatures, and nature that live on the mountain. Now, where I live specifically, from my bedroom window, you can see the sun come up behind the mountain and the moon sets on the opposite side of my house and everything like that, right? But in spirit was showing me like how no matter what happens here, you're immovable and things will be exposed. The sun will expose things, will nurture, will lead, will guide. And then the moon comes up and the moon does the same thing, and we use our intuition here. So it's always important for us to remember boundaries, not borders. You see, the thing is a mountain is not a border. We can still cross through it. We can still explore it. We can hike it. We can snowboard on it. We can go swim in the lakes that it has to provide. Like, it's still nurturing. We can be one with nature in the mountain. And so it taught me here, even in this meditation, like, I am immovable, but at the same time, I need to nurture these certain aspects and recognize not putting up a wall and not swaying left and right. It's about being stable. So, anything else about criticism, baby?
No. I feel like we're gonna go more into this in our masterclass.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of other dynamics that I really want to touch in on that.
Tons.
Like how, like, for instance, with an unhealed feminine, sometimes there's a masculine mask or distortion, and vice versa. So there's so many other aspects to learn about that, and this is just two different energy types, and so many different ways it can manifest. So really identifying it in yourself and having that awareness is one of the biggest first steps. That's really it. How can
the collective deal with criticism that's thrown their way?
Really, I feel like the golden rule for everything is to not internalize things outside of yourself. Don't give your power away to things that are outside of yourself. You know, if the idea didn't spawn from you, and when I say idea, I don't mean one that was implanted in you from society, your dad, your partner, or whatever. I'm saying if it's not authentically true to you, then it's not worth giving your energy to. So any level of external criticism, it's okay to look at it and think, oh, well, does this actually have any validity? Because sometimes criticism isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody check your back and see a blind spot that you're not aware of, you know?
But when it's criticism against the female body and how a perception of how you're supposed to show up.
And that's the discernment there, right? Like if it's an attack, being able to identify what is an attack and what is actually criticism from a place of love is a very different thing. And just not attaching to what isn't yours and not making an identity or a feeling or a belief over something that isn't really your truth.
The way that I've always dealt with criticism, you guys have seen it numerous times on this channel, is I turn it into a video, a live, a opportunity for all of us to learn from, to look at in a new perspective, to understand on a deeper level, and to assist us on our soul's journey of evolution. I never take it and sit there and like fight with them in the comments like, fuck you for that comment, you're just wounded and you're projecting. I never do any of that bullshit. I really don't. I might sometimes, depending on the comment, I might bring something up. However, I do it in a way where I'm not giving my power to the comments because they don't take it. You see, the thing is oftentimes the wounded feminine energy, it wants attention. It seeks attention. And External validation, exactly. And the way that they get it, or the only way they know how to receive that, is in a negative connotation, or has negative connotations attached, by being mean, by saying rude comments, right? And so that's really what I saw there. It was somebody who needed someone else to talk to, who needed the true nurture, the true leadership and guide in that situation, right? So I hope to see you guys all within our class here. I think, again, like I said, everyone will benefit. We're going to go through multiple different chakras. We're going to talk about the feminine and the masculine energies. We're going to discuss what it's like to be distorted, what it looks like, or how it manifests in a healthy or healed form. We're going to talk about how to learn the difference, like how to discern, like, is this healthy femininity? Is this healthy masculinity? We're gonna teach you guys how and where to apply those energies properly, because a lot of people don't know. I mean, I can't just like be like, all right, kids, we're doing this today, and think that that's coming from a feminine energy, because it's not. Leadership comes from the masculine energy, right? So it's knowing when and where and how to apply things properly. We're going to talk about the different forms of manifestation. Masculine energy manifests abundance and prosperity differently than feminine energy. And so we're going to go over a lot of different stuff. I highly suggest it. I know that we had so many people sign up for the last class. I had tons of reviews. If you guys like the last class, just know you're going to get even more from this one, because this one is definitely going to assist your soul's evolution. I know it's not going to be as popular, and I'm not speaking that into existence. I just know, because a lot of people don't actually want to do the work. And I know that they think that, oh, well, I know how to quantum jump now. You're still going to have feminine and masculine energies that are going to distort your quantum jumps, and they're going to leap you on timelines in which you are actually manifesting lessons, just as I did, right? How do we sign up? Tarot. We sign up on flavoredvivid.com, or you can use a direct link that's posted on my community board. So if you go to Flavored Vivid and click on my community board, you can click on the direct link from there. But otherwise, it's flavoredvivid.com, and it's the first one right when you click on book now. It's the first one up on the top of the page there. It's being hosted on March 1st. We will both be there, and we are really excited to dive into this subject. There will be opportunities to grow from this subject forward. We have a lot that we've worked on and that we're planning on launching. However, in order to work with us further for things that we're launching, we want you guys to be present in that class so that you can actually understand, because what we're launching requires a lot more safety, trust, and consent. Between partners, or just energies here. So
and there was a question there that asked if we are doing any healings. Yes, the answer to that is yes. And the thing about masculine and feminine energy is, yes, there is kind of like a structure to it of how it manifests, but it is also very different for different people. For instance, like before I really looked and started to heal my masculine wound, it wasn't so apparent to me, or even the people around me, some of my first teachers and coaches, that my feminine also had a pretty gnarly wound there, so how it can show up and manifest for people is very different. And sometimes it can be helpful to do individual coaching sessions to identify, what does it look like for me? How do I heal it for me? Because how I heal my feminine is different than how she heals her feminine. We talked a little bit about this in the quantum leaping class, how I'm much more vocally expressive, where she likes to move her body, which is both forms of feminine healing as well, and throat chakra for me. But anyways, I digress. But yes, we do individual healings. I would love to take.
And you guys could book either Francesca or myself on my website, flavoredvivid.com. It will be the online coaching booking option. And once you are there, you actually can use a click down tab and choose either her or myself. Or if you would like both of us together, you can leave a little notation and we can try our best to make something like that happen. But yeah, we are both available for that. And she is 100% integrated. This is like something that we've discussed. This is our business now, and this is our baby.
And I think I am literally just now bringing this up for the first time, but I think it'd be really great maybe if we did even like couples counseling, like energy between couples. That would be awesome. I would love to do that.
I hope that a lot of couples actually sign up for the feminine and masculine, because I feel like no matter what, every relationship could benefit from this in some sort of way.
And sometimes it's hard to see like the dynamic when you're in the relationship. Sometimes it's good to have that outside perspective. And from a couple that very much tries to embody the feminine and masculine in a healthy way, it might be a good thing to reach out and do some coaching. So maybe we should set up something for like a dual coaching thing.
We should. We'll do that.
Yeah, there was one other thing I had, but I don't remember it anymore. Yeah, those are the... Oh, actually, one other thing. This has been like my big thing for coaching, polarity, all this stuff is like, especially in the LGBT community, my studs out there, I see you, I hear you, I know that feminine wound is fucking rough, guys. Like, I would love to work with some studs and some
whatever they identify as.
However you identify.
Trans is a huge one as well.
Yeah, to help you really embody those energies, because just because you're attracted to women or you like to dress a certain way or present yourself a certain way doesn't mean that you can't embody the feminine, and it doesn't mean that you have to be exclusively hard and exclusively in the masculine. I know so many lesbians out there that just are like, no, my girl doesn't touch me, like almost like it's, I don't know, like a homophobic thing. Like, I love it when my girlfriend touches me. It's fucking great. Like, I love it, and why limit yourself to just only giving when inherently we're all meant to receive, so.
And that's a feminine wound, because the feminine energy is receiving energy. So very, very important. It doesn't matter how you show up as. Again, if you identify as a tree trunk, that is totally fine. We are willing to work with you, and we will respect and honor you in that sense. For those, again, that are in feminine or masculine role, I don't care if you are the most macho masculine. If you feel comfortable and like to work with us, we would love to work with you as well. There is no judgment. We go about things in a very non-judgmental way. And that's something I think that we both kind of, I think that's what drew me to her so much, was like, she was never judging me. I was the one judging myself. I was the one criticizing myself and like condemning myself.
She still does this, but you proactively are like, don't judge me for this, or I'm just doing this. Like, she over explains because she's so used to having that level of judgment. I'm like, baby, I don't, like, I'm not judging you. I'm not, none of that.
And I've always had to over explain in past relationships.
The class is absolutely for singles as well. And you don't have to be a couple at all.
In fact, this class, if you are single, this will help you manifest a counterpart into your life that will be balanced, healthy, and safe.
Yes.
Because then you'll be in a balanced, healthy, and safe energy within yourself, so you'll know how to manifest it.
Yeah, we're going to go into that as well, creating the desire feeling within yourself, the wholeness in yourself, in order to attract the partner that you truly want.
Because we both did that, and that's how we met. Like, literally, I was not expecting to meet her at all. She came from left field, and I was like, who is this bitch with a peace sign and a SpongeBob t-shirt?
No bio filled out.
No.
All that mystery.
Yeah. I think I made a SpongeBob joke, and she got it, and I was like, all right, cool. And we just kind of started talking. It was pretty interesting. So we didn't even hang out right away. I think we talked for like a month.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't hang out. I didn't try to meet up with her or anything like that. So we just kind of spent time really getting to know each other. And she'd always ask me all these deep questions, like, how far along on your healing journey are you? And I'm like, can that be measured? Like, I remember. And then she asked me, like, what do you want from me? And I'm like, fuck, I don't have an agenda. I don't know. Like, these are very broad questions, which we're also going to get into broad questions and how to approach those with feminine and masculine energies, because that's something that we both individually struggled with within past relationships. She came out of not so great of a relationship. I mean, unless you like being on an army base. Come on!
Yeah. Borders, boundaries.
Yes.
It was, I definitely have had a lot that I've worked through with Carissa as well. And I'm very, very thankful for her to be so open and generous with her space and her time and her energy. And it's been incredibly healing for me, just from the relationship that I came from as well. And I send her all the light and love and everything as well. It's just
she doesn't know I exist, baby. We're good. She's never gonna see this.
Doesn't matter. Just for, like, no, it just, we weren't right, and I'm grateful for that relationship, because it did bring me to Carissa, which I'm endlessly grateful for. It's sick. But yeah, I mean, so just for reference, kind of back to balancing your own energies prior to calling in a partner. For instance, before I started my healing journey, like, the women I attracted, all chaotic feminine. Complete, like, I had a balcony jumper. We literally call her balcony jumper. And part of that was how I grew up. It's the relationship dynamics that I saw modeled to me was just like chaotic, feminine, crazy fucking energy. And I was like, this is what love is. and also it was a way for me to identify and cultivate, like, what was missing within my masculine body and my feminine, really, because the chaotic feminine, if they're exclusively in chaotic feminine, I can't express my feminine body at all. So and I was like, why do I keep attracting all these people? It's so fucking weird. And it's because I hadn't really done the work, and I wasn't taking accountability for the parts that I showed up in. Part of the reason why was attracted to the feminine chaos. First of all, like, I'm very attracted to the healthy feminine. Like, it's literally melts me. Like, when she's super soft baby, I'm just like, this is the best.
She gives me these, I call it the dreamy eyes. And she gives me this look, and I'm like, oh, don't do that to me. Don't do it to me.
Yeah, but I forget what I was saying. Damn it!
So, dreamy eyes.
Dreamy eyes.
That's where I'm stuck. That. Where are you stuck?
I was trying to get back to my train of thought. I got distracted.
Balcony jumper.
Balcony jumper.
Chaos lover.
Chaos lover. Yeah. So I was a lover of chaos, all of those things, and wondering why it manifested. And really part of it for me was like, I wasn't the crazy one. I could still have all of the emotional chaos and what I thought the feminine was in those chaotic relationships and still be the good guy. You know, like, I was the one that tried to keep everything together. I was the fixer, the hero. I got to reenact all of these old wounding patterns and these things that I wasn't aware of, and then be like, woe is me. Why is it this keeps manifesting for me? Because I wasn't doing the work to actually heal and look at these things and think and see that I wasn't actually operating from a heart space of love. You know, I was like, how can I heal this person? How can I make them fit into my idea of what I want in a partnership? Which that was control. That is a feminine wound there. It's like, well, you could fit in my cookie cutter little cardboard box and just stick you right in there, you know, like, but it's not, you know, it was a lack of surrender on my part. It was an attachment to something that was unhealthy because I had an abandonment wound. I had people leave me, so I didn't want to feel or give that to someone else. I didn't want to abandon someone else, even if it was at the detriment to myself. So there's just like so much that I've done the work on to be aware of these things, and I'd be happy and honored to like walk anyone else through this process as well. You know, it's really important work, and I truly believe that everyone authentically deserves the relationships and connections that they want from this life, and there's no reason why any of us can't have it. Really, the only reason we don't have the things we want, for the most part, is we don't allow ourselves to have them. It's a problem with receiving.
We're in denial.
It's a problem with receiving from others, from self, from source, God, creator, which is also a feminine wound.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. Anyways, nice. You see that? Anyways, so you guys go ahead and sign up for the class. Criticism is canceled. We are now healing, taking accountability 100%. We are recognizing our wounding pattern. Did you just hashtag? So that's her hashtag sign. You'll get
cancel criticism.
Cancel 2023. Criticism. You know, it's really important for you guys to be 100% accountable for yourselves. It's not just me. You'll never shame me and silent me. You know, and I want to lead by that example here is you don't hurt my feelings. You show me where the collective needs healing, and you inspire me and you make me more money. So it actually always benefits, and that's a form of alchemy. That's a healthy form of alchemy. And you know, I hope that others can lead by this example here and not take things so personally. Know yourselves well enough. I am not going to be a size 0. I'm literally a size 5, 7 depending. My 5th grade daughter is the same size as me.
I'm a size 19. I got a big ol'
No,
ass.
you don't. No, you're not a size 19. You're so dramatic. Chaotic feminine showing up there.
I do got a big ol' ass, though. That's true.
I love it.
I got
It's
a dump
great.
truck ass.
Baby! Kate. All right. She's got a great body, and I love it in the shower. But see, now I'm distracted and I'm thinking of, stop. What was I saying? Right. Oh, yeah. So it's like, I don't even have, like, I'm not even a large person, you guys. I'm literally 5'4". I know I look bigger on camera here.
It's 90% titty.
It's all tits.
90%
Like,
titty.
it's all booby. All right, I have huge tits, and we were actually talking the other day about how I want a reduction. They are. How I want a reduction because everybody thinks I'm fat because my boobs are so big.
Here's the thumbnail.
Just use 2 hands. Can't even. Your arms are too small. It's like half my tits. Okay. But really though, I'm genuinely, and so it makes me look like whiter. And it just, I get it. You guys only see like from here up here, but I'm actually not a fat person. I am a very fit person. I have the body of an athlete. They call it an athlete's body, which I'm very like slim, trim, and that's why I got such big boobies, because I wanted a feminine body. And it didn't work. Now you guys think I'm fat, so.
Damn it!
Fuck!
Gotta go under the knife again.
Yeah, so now we're gonna get a reduction. Thanks for that. Just kidding. No, I will eventually probably get a reduction when these ones are expired, because they do have an expiration date. Hashtag, yeah. Expired. But regardless, again, my loves, no more criticizing yourself. No more criticizing others. Criticism is canceled, and it's your responsibility to keep it that way. You can shut it down by ignoring it. You can alchemize it and use it as an example for others. You can go ahead and utilize it in any way, but no matter what you do, do not give it your power. For me, I never give it my power. I turn it into my power. I turn it into my empowerment, okay? And I alchemize it into money, into prosperity, into a video like this. So it's super important here to recognize how you're working with these energies that are being thrown at you, embodying the nurturing and compassionate feminine energy, the divine feminine energy within you, and recognizing that that person comes from a hurt place, from a wounded place. Address the comments.
Yeah.
What was the comments?
It says, what if I find the beauty in everyone else and not myself?
Oh, that's a big one.
Yes.
Jeez,
So,
my whole heart.
I know. That's why I was like, we're not letting that one slide.
Yeah, no, okay, go for it, baby.
So that inherently kind of leans more towards the masculine. That is like the self-criticism. And usually that stems from others, parents, people you looked up to that were hypercritical of you. Or, you know, a belief system that you just weren't good enough. Worthiness is a huge, huge, huge fucking wound. And I know, because that is like one of my biggest wounds. One of my biggest wounds. It's something that we've both worked through.
And so I make sure to tell her every single day what a blessing she is, because she's the biggest blessing and she's never a burden.
She does say that quite often. But at the end of the day, it's not on Carissa to validate that for me.
But I do.
It's great that she does, but just because she says it doesn't mean that that's going to fix that wound. It's something that internally I had to look at and sit with. And the thing with the unworthiness, like, just for reference, I was so pissed about this. I did these healing sessions with a coach about a year ago, and we did quantum healing and jumping through all these timelines, and I was like, my unworthiness is solved. I'm worthy now. Like, no struggles here. And like I was like, I'm cured, you know. And the thing is, like, especially with unworthiness, it's just different layers. It's peeling back an onion. So I had healed a big layer for me in that, and I was like, I'm good, you know. But then it manifested in a different way, in a way that I wasn't prepared to see yet, because I hadn't peeled that previous layer back. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought I was done, you know. I was so pissed, and I went through like this whole shame spiral about it. And it's just like another blessing that I can see this part of myself in order to heal. And so just sitting with yourself and even just acknowledging something small about you that you actually enjoy, whether that be a physical attribute, a mental attribute, there's beauty in all of us. And if you believe there's beauty in everyone else, you have to believe that there's beauty in you, because we're all inherently connected. We are all from the same source.
What you see outside of yourself is actually what you're trying to admire within yourself, if I may interrupt there. And that's something for me. Like, I dealt with unworthiness. My father literally told me that I would be a nobody growing up on a day-to-day basis. And so, I mean, inherently, I believed. I was like, yep, that's right, I'm a nobody. So I, it diminished any like goal or ambition that I had. And I had to consistently play small to fit that role. And so when, like, she'll always be like yesterday, she literally woke me up, like, with a bunch of kisses from a nap here and was telling me how beautiful I was. I was like, dude, I just, like, drowned us both in my drool. Like, how is this beautiful? Like, I drooled all over the pillow. I napped so hard. And I was having a hard time, like, receiving the compliments that she was giving me right at the beginning, like, waking up here. And that was a huge one for me to realize that, like, what's so distorted here? Why don't I feel worthy? Yeah, a 30-minute consultation is great, just to address that real quick, because the comment disappeared quicker than it showed up, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah,
that was quick, right?
I only got to the consultation part.
They asked if a 30-minute consultation would be a good start.
Yeah. And I mean, we're both a big advocate of this, of feeling out the energy when you're actually with a client and seeing if it's a fit, because there are a lot of different avenues that you can choose for healing, and not for guidance. Right. And not every coach is right for every person, and that's totally okay. Like, at the end of the day, we both want what's best for you guys. Yeah, what's best for you guys. Yeah. You know, and we're not in scarcity or lack mentality. Like, we know that the people and clients that we're meant to help and we're meant to talk to and we're meant to reach are going to come either way, and that we just want blessings on anyone that we cross paths with. Yeah, absolutely. Back to the unworthiness, though, after addressing that comment. Sorry about that distraction and, like, path turning there. You know, for me here, it was, I recognized that I saw beauty in everyone else aside from myself here. And I aspired to be like that. And when I say be like that, I realized that those attributes were within me, because if I even noticed them in another person, they were already innately within me. We can't fathom anything that is actually outside of ourselves. It's already within us. And that's why when it comes to, like, quantum jumping and manifesting here, even if you have the thought, that means that that reality exists. There are infinite realities and timelines that exist, and it's more so about jumping into that embodiment of it. So because you can see other people have loving relationships, you can see other people having the wealthy abundance, the white picket fence, the family that they want. Those things exist for you as well. You are not separate from these things. And so it's really important to recognize that within yourself. The fact that you can see it, acknowledge it, means that it does exist within you. You just haven't fully accepted it yet. And the form of acceptance, that goes a lot deeper, and that's a wounding pattern that we could definitely get into in a consultation, or we could even talk, well, I know for a fact we're going to talk about it in the yin and yang class. So again, if you guys are interested in a private consultation, flavorvivid.com, that would be online coaching, and the yin and yang class is only $44. It's one of the cheapest things on my site, because it is more of collective energies. However, we would love to have all of you guys. We will address lots of questions there, and we will go over things so much deeper. I've already been live for like 76 minutes though, it looks like here, which is a very long time, and I feel like we're just talking around in circles at this point. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna be live today, yeah? Or are we doing other things? I might be live today, no promises. Might be today, might be tomorrow. But I am gonna finish out readings this weekend. I do know that we have company coming over today, so it might not be today, just really depends here. But yes. Anyways, we'll go ahead and take like any other last question, and then we'll move on from there. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you guys. Did you just salute them? Sure did. Salute them off. I hope you guys have a blessed, I don't know what that reference is, but I feel like you do. A reference to myself. Okay, nice chat. Gals, talk soon. Awesome. We look forward to working with all of you guys. Thank you so much for your guys' support. Again, criticism is canceled. We're canceling it within ourselves. We are no longer criticizing or condemning ourselves, living in a purgatory of shame or guilt or repression, okay? The divine feminine is breaking free. The divine masculine is going to lead and create and cultivate a safe space. And we do this by working on ourselves and then coming into the matrix and working with each other. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys as well. Bye, guys.